Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Heck Creative. This time we're going over the Disney Toybox Marvel Iron Man Hall of Armor. Let's get to it. So here's the Iron Man figure, and I'm not going to take it out because I have no real need for this figure at all. I basically got this set for the Hall of Armor itself, and while I find it to be a pretty good Iron Man, I think that I have too many other Iron Men in my collection, as you'll see a little bit later on, for this Iron Man to really fit in. It's small, sort of stumpy in a way. I like the aesthetic though and how it looks a little bit. I like the add-ons to it. The armor pieces right over here, they're blue, that kind of matches the red, and the blue background looks really nice. I like that too. We also come with a bunch of other armor pieces that are white within this, and how to put them on is in this instruction manual. It also shows the Hall of Armor on the other side and how to piece that together, what it does and everything. And we also have on the inside more detailed instructions of what's inside the box, as well as how to put the whole armor together, the Hall of Armor. And you can also have it be multiple stories and everything, as we'll see later on. Different connection ports right here, place that on, and connection ports on the sides, little clips and stuff, and just how to place it on. It looks pretty cool to me. I like this. The choking hazard thing is on the bottom, obviously. You gotta have those. Marvel and Disney. I really kind of like this as a toy for kids, but the Hall of Armor we'll get to. Also, here's Spider-Man in comparison with him, as well as Jesse Heck Creative right over here. Like I said before, the scale is not really that good for this. I mean, it's a small. If you want a really tiny Iron Man running around, you can, but just having Iron Man, this one doesn't really make sense in a Marvel Legends collection. But let's get to the actual Hall of Armor. The first piece here I'm going to show off is this little base right here. It rotates. You can also slide this up and down. The foot pegs you could put on there, at least for that. There are pegs on the sides, the hole and peg, another hole and a peg, another hole and a peg, and then two mysterious little tabs right here, or at least slots. Another hole and a peg, and then just more holes and pegs all the way around. And this is a really nice base. There's no real wash on anything, and I just find it to be pretty cool. I like this little sort of hexagon thing right here. It looks pretty neat. More hexagons over here. I'm wondering what can fit in those, if anything, but we'll find out when we get to the next piece at least. This is our first piece with sort of a function. It is the ceiling piece. Actually, I believe the only piece with a function in this set. It has a sort of claw thing up here you can attach things to. A port, if you will. You could port things onto this, like the armor, and just have that dangle from the top of the ceiling right there like that. I usually like to place it inwards, or at least back, so it won't be interfering with this, because I like this thing because you can open and close. Kind of reminds me of a Metroid door in a way. It's really nice. It is a textured sort of nice pattern right over here, and there's a pattern going on over here. Very sort of like crosshatch pattern. There's some marbling down over here, and that's alright. Not my favorite thing, but it doesn't really stand out too badly. Again, this opens and closes, a nice little satisfying little noise. On the back, we have little sort of tabs right here to tell you what's the front, what's the back. The clean side is the front, with this little doohickey. But I wish this was on the bottom or something. As we'll see later on, there's a port right here. There's more ports and holes, but on this side it's a double port, so double tab at least. Tab, hole, tab, hole, tab. Oh, look, another port right here. Alright, so we'll see what's going on when we get to the next pieces. And I really like this piece a lot. I like the sliding thing. I wish you could move this though. That's my only issue, but we'll come to that when we get to it. Here's the sort of main attraction of this set. It is the Iron Man holding pods. I'm just going to call them pods for short. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 is actually another piece we'll go after. But on the inside, we have this nice little pattern right here. Nice little hexagon pattern going on over here. You can also see through this portion right here. That looks really nice. Really nice molding on this. Not really much color, but hey, what are you going to do? This is actually supposed to be a kid's toy, but honestly, it's great for any Marvel Legends collector, as you can see later on. But we have more sliding little tabs on the bottom for the feet. You can slide them up or down depending on where your character is going to be. There's more ports and holes on the top, and there's clips on the side and bars on the other. On the back, it's a nice little sort of pattern in here. I really wish they could recolor this or something down the line. Make it maybe green, maybe gold, blue, whatever. Something different, change it up, and just keep giving us pods for things, because we'll see what's going on with that later on. Number 2 right over here. Looks really good. It's tampoed on. Looks really nice. A little slit right here on the top. On the bottom is 2 holes. On the top is 2 pegs. And we'll see later on how that works. But each one is similar. 3 has the same little indents over here on the top. On the bottom, nothing. Now with 4, it has an indent on the top going in, and then a tab on the bottom. So we'll see what's going on coming up. 5 and 6 are the same. And what you do basically with these is you can clip them together, just keep them on a flat surface, and then clip the top and the bottom together. And then on the next one, number 4, you clip that one right there, and then 3 clipped, and then 2 is clipped. But where is 1, you ask? And also you can actually clip this in a circular formation, and that's pretty nice. Little rotating base. Here's the center. You can actually make a little power gauntlet with it or something cool. I'm Iron Man. I don't know. Maybe if I lessen the amount of parts here, just taking a random piece off. Let's take 4 off because it doesn't really jive with the rest, I don't think. Actually, putting 4 together might work. Putting 4 together does work. It makes a little better power gauntlet. That's pretty cool. You can put on your wrist, on your arm. I'm also wearing red by coincidence. I've been wearing red for the past week or so. Happy holidays, everybody. Just gonna take this off. And be careful, because sometimes you don't know what's gonna happen with this, because it is kind of like a kid's toy, and it doesn't really want to the stress marks might be appearing, because I've been taking this thing apart and putting it back together for so long. 3 and 2, and then split at 2 and 6. But where's 1, you ask? Well, let's figure out. So here is pod number 1, or door number 1 at least. It is sort of a slat kind of door that is meant to be sort of like a garage door kind of thing. Just like rolls up, rolls down. But for our sake, it actually hinges down and up. With the base, it actually can clip onto the base from the front right here. We'll do that later on. There are a lot of nice little details on this. I like it a lot. I like the 1 on here. There's a lot of marbling on here, but I don't really care because it looks kind of nice. Adds the metal aesthetic to it. Looks kind of metalish. That's really cool. On the back, we have those little circles right here that indicate if it's the back or the front. We have some more holes over here, and we have tabs over here. And it looks really nice. I like these little slides right here. You can kind of make a little noise over that. Putting your finger over this thing. Looks really nice. I like all these little holes over here. They look pretty cool. Little sort of slats you could see in, you know, like those like you see through blinds or whatever. But enough talk about this. Let's get to the main event and actually getting this thing put together. Assembling all these pieces is simple. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all together. You know, you have to tab in this into the base right here through the front, putting that in like so. And that hinges right over here. A little flimsily, but it works fine. The back of this has a hole right here that tabs into plate number 4. A little bit difficult, but you gotta take this off and just, you know, use a little bit of force on that. Plug that in, make sure all the tabs and holes line up. Reattach this. Then you got to actually tab in this tab to this hole up here. Tab that in. Make sure it tabs in well, at least. Plug that in. Put everything all back together. Make sure it all fits. There is a little learning curve on this. Put all the tabs and holes on the sides, on the top and bottom down. Move everything around. Make sure the top and bottom fits. Sometimes the pins don't really want to align too much. It's very finicky sometimes on this thing. Plug that in on the top and bottom of that. Plug that in over there. A lot of minor fixes you may have to do to make sure everything's all plugged in. That was my main issue right there. On number 3, you have to make sure that's plugged into that, and make sure the top and bottom is all plugged in. And then you put this on and tab that in, close the top, and yeah, you have a full-on Iron Man armor section. That's pretty cool. Open this up, undo all these. You have a little faux ceiling and floor. It looks really cool. I like it a lot. You can fit a Marvel Legends Iron Man type figure in here, by the way. Gonna fit that in nice and neat. You can also put in the Spider-Man figure. For some reason, it doesn't really look that impressive though. Very small. I don't really care too much about it, but I'm glad I can fit some Marvel Legends figures in here. Looks kind of nice. You can also put it right here. It's a little bit heavy, tall at least. But you can have the sunroof. Give it a little more light there. Maybe move this around. There are foot pegs in the sky, so let's just place them right there. Gives it a little more stability. Looks rather nice. If you want to put it on the top, close the gate and put them on the top. That looks rather cool. And if you also want, you can take these parts off the sides and put them on the top. Even more Iron Man Hall of Armor fun. Have it be a large stand, a larger display with 2 areas. You can go to a ceiling and a floor area, level 1 and level 2. That looks rather nice. I wish there was a 3rd one in the middle, but we can actually easily do that if you get more than one. So let's go over that when you combine 2 of these together. Here are 2 different sets that aren't the one I just reviewed, but these are 2 different sets of the Hall of Armor Iron Man. I recommend getting more than one of these if you want to have more floors or something. So it takes a little bit of force to pull these pieces away from the backing right here, and it's just kind of, you gotta give it a little wiggle maybe here and there, but you'll get it going. So usually step 1 with this, if you want to make the parking garage set, you have to move this on top of that and peg them all together, so they all peg in and match each other. Moving that all together, right? Okay. Step 2, take the ceiling pieces, and you want to have these pieces facing sort of out in a way. Like so. You would want these levers to be on the right-hand side. Have them closed just in case. And then, with these on the bottom, you want to take it like this and move it so they're facing outwards in a fan. So take that and plug these in together and flip them up. And then lastly, you want to take these parts right here and plug it into, so you see you have 1, 2, 3, plug it into 3, kind of carefully. 2 and 3 need to be plugged in on that. And then what you want to do, if I can remember how to plug this in or do this, this is the correct way to do it, at least how I did it before. Want to have it wrap around like that a little bit. Looks pretty good. Have this sort of tabbing out a little bit. Take this piece, plug it into here. Should work. There we go. Like so. And the other one is going to be, yeah, it works. Okay. Like that. So you want to have these tabs on the back match the slots on the back over here. This tab over here matches this slot over here, and these 2 tabs match the door. It's not going to hit entirely. It's going to actually move it up and rest a little bit underneath. So you match the tabs and plugs. Make sure you don't wreck the walls. Wreck the walls with boughs of holly. Move that right there. Make sure it plugs in a little bit right there. Redo that. Fix that up. Move it over a little bit. And then why I call it the parking garage. Remember this from the review on Christmas? This little thing right here. You undo this piece right here and slot that in neatly over the two, so the wheels rest on the little spinning things a little bit. Move that up, and you have your little parking garage for Spider-Man when he comes to visit Iron Man. You can also have little trap doors over here or there. For example, let's get our Spider-Man going up and down, and then we move our trap door, and he falls almost into his car. If you want to have him do that. How can I have him fall into his car? Maybe I'll switch this around. So the driver's seat's over there. Maybe move a little more towards the back. Doesn't really want to fit the other way though, which is kind of weird. Take that over here, put it over there. And then he fell in head first. Good job. Okay. So that's the parking garage setup. You can also have the other trapdoor over here. I just like trapdoors, honestly. And he hangs on for dear life. Will Spider-Man make it? Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. But yeah, this is the little parking garage setup. But I have one more setup involving 3. So let's get to that. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. So why don't we just go from the parking garage to the, what I call Cobra Island base. If you aren't familiar, G.I. Joe has Cobra, the villains. Cobra Island is, I guess, their base. I'm not really a big G.I. Joe fan. If you'd like to correct me in the comments, please do. I want to know more lore about G.I. Joe because it's actually pretty interesting and pretty cool to me. Here I have pre-made 2 different ceiling and floor attachments. We have the 4-piece back here connecting to the ceiling and the floor. We also have a 1-piece right here, which is our other sort of wall piece serving as that, as well as a little garage door type deal. Pushing that in. Same thing right over here. They're both the same. So now let's attach them together. So we have this piece right here, another wall, one wall, and the flooring piece. Instead we flip it around. We attach it one right here and one right there. Moving a little more forward to accompany for the back. Then next we get our ceiling piece right here, closing it up and moving it so this piece right here attaches right here and right here. Nice and neat. For a little extra stability, we can also get this piece right here and attach the one to the back of the ceiling part. Closing all these up. Next we get our walls. I have pre-made them out of a 4 and then a 2, a 3, 2, 3, 4, 5 basically, which also together equals 14 divided by 2, 7. So yes, you can make everything 7. Gonna attach this piece right here, bevel it out, attach right here, clipping that in like so. I have 2 3s also to serve as my walls up here. So 3 and 4 is also 7. Nice little pattern going on here. I actually recommend attaching these first, so then you don't have to hassle with this like that. You can kind of fudge it anyways. Push that in there, and push that in over here. Just taking the entire thing out, and then replacing it. That's fine. Make sure it's nice and sturdy and neat. Good. Next up, pre-made 2s and 5s. Right here, we put them on the side. Attaching them right over here. And attaching them right over there. And on this side right over here. On that side, they're already attached. Good. And placing that right there. Making sure everything's all attached and sturdy. Looking good, looking ready. And then, last but not least, we have our 6s. Attaching 1 6 to one wall over here. Moving that in. plugging that in right there. Attaching the other 6 to the other wall. And finally, our last 6 is not going to exactly plug in, but it's going to plug in right here and keep it sturdy so it doesn't fall or break. And that is your Cobra Island setup right here. You got a nice backing wall. You have a ceiling up here with the second floor right here. 3 trapdoors. You also have, you can open this up. More space right here. And also more space right here to open up. You can open this butt right here, open it back, and slide it underneath these 2 little slats right here and make a ladder going up to the second floor. Or you could just wreck it like I just did. Be careful with this thing because it's kind of easy to come apart in some places, hard to come apart in others, but once you just sort of fit everything together and make it work nice and neat, it all comes together pretty well. Moving this back, you can also move this open a little bit, open the wall up, open this up a little bit. I like to keep the walls on just for more stability. But yeah, that's your Cobra Island base right here. But it isn't really Cobra Island now, is it? Let's make it even more Cobra Island-y. Here we have the SDCC Comic-Con Cobra Commander, or at least the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Cobra Commander right here, and a throne for him. That's nice, but we need to make it a little more treacherous here. So what we do, this little slat, open that up, and you could easily actually fit in the throne. This is the throne from the Snoke from Star Wars Black Series. I picked it up for really cheap a couple years ago when Last Jedi came out, and it just works really great for a throne. Really matches this actually really well. There are Cobra thrones that are being 3D printed by third parties and stuff, and I would think that it'd work well here, but sadly it doesn't really fit that well. For example, here's a blue one. I'm getting a black one coming in that looks even better, matching his color scheme. It doesn't really want to fit too well though. It's not big enough, not large enough at least. Kind of fits, sure, but this throne actually fits better and I think works better for the time being right here. It looks really nice, adds to the technological aesthetic of this whole set right here. And yeah, that looks pretty nice. He looks good in front of the throne, but we can add a little bit more to this to make it look even better. So you know the second floor really needs a balcony, so I added this piece from the Marvel Select Chitauri figure. It looks pretty nice up here. It'd be great if I could turn these shells into Cobra symbols or something. That would look nice, but also Marvel Select provides me with another opportunity for some more creativity and coolness in the form of this spike thing from the Danger Room from the Marvel Select Colossus figure. All you gotta do is place that in there with the longer side of feet down and the shorter side of feet on top of this rotating base. You place it right here and you have a very nice death trap. If you also want, the Marvel Legends Apocalypse figure comes with a skull, and I've been collecting them for some reason, and I think it would look great if you had a couple skulls over here to add to the scariness and fear of that. So there's some skulls and a little death trap right there. That looks pretty lovely. How many people have you killed, Cobra? Wow. Yeah, got some skulls. We got a balcony. There's one more thing I can add though. It probably won't show up that well on here, but I have Destro on this bike, or at least the Baroness's bike. I don't really like her on the bike too much, so Destro fits better anyways. I like him a lot on this thing. This is actually the variant Destro with a little circle on his head. I kind of like this a lot. It fits kind of like the parking garage setup, where you have one wheel per standee, at least, rotating base. Maybe I'll just, yeah, you can actually have the wheels fit into the slots right here kind of and have them hold it up a little bit, because the bike isn't really standing up on its own too much. But if you have those little tabs right here on the center, it'll work out quite nicely and have the bike just sit there while Cobra's doing their evil stuff up top. Another cool thing to add to this set would be the Captain Marvel bases from Marvel Select. They look really awesome, kind of creepy too. Like if you're a boat coming in and you come to shore, you see this really creepy metal monolith looking thing, and then you get inside, it's even creepier and worse. But all these things together really make for an amazing set and just improve the look of this immensely, going from an Iron Man themed set to a Cobra Commander, Cobra Island, G.I. Joe themed set. And that just makes it look supremely awesome. Right, Supreme Cobra Commander? You can also use this with other Hasbro properties like Power Rangers, where it looks really nice here with all the Rangers attacking the Green Ranger with Zordon and Alpha. And there's just so many unlimited possibilities to this set that have yet to be unexplored. The interior box for Iron Man stands over a foot tall, while Iron Man himself stands at about 5.5 inches tall. Each pod is the same height, measuring around 9 inches tall. Number 1 door measures at about 8.25 inches tall, while each ceiling and floor portion measures at almost 7 inches tall or so, including the tab. Here's the number 1 door, the number 6 door, a ceiling, and a floor next to the Power Rangers Lightning Collection White Ranger, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Snake Eyes, Marvel Legends Kitbash Tony Stark, and a Disney Toybox Spider-Man. Here's the number 1 door, the number 6 door, a ceiling, and a floor, all next to Jesse Heck Creative. I thought this was a tanning bed, but now I'm stuck. Can you help me out, guys? Please? Guys? So that's my review of the Disney Toybox Iron Man Hall of Armor set from Marvel. Overall, the set's a blast. It's really awesome to connect and change everything up, to make different sets, to make different themes, to put Marvel Legends figures into it. This was really built, I think, for 6-inch figures, and they just gave it to us as a nice holiday present. It's amazing, this whole thing. How it all connects, how it works together. All the pieces are modular. The only thing I'd change is have everything work on a tab slot system instead of some pieces being tab or not. But I do agree that the backs need that strength, those tabs to plug into as a base to just hold onto, the number 4 pieces. But other than that, it should be tab and hole, but that's a minor complaint. This whole thing is so modular. It's really fun. You can change it up however you want. You can have 1, 2, or 3, or 4, maybe 5, 6. I've seen walls of maybe 8 sets placed together. It's insane. But I really like having 3. It really gives you the amount of room you'd need for a nice little playset area for 6-inch figures. You have some nice trap doors you can use. You have some rotating bases you can use. You have that little ladder in the back you can make with this Cobra Island base set that I've made. And it even doesn't have to be Cobra Island. You could have characters like Iron Man in here with all his armors, and those of you who've been collecting Marvel Legends figures for the past 5-6 years, this is your little present for collecting that many, because now you can display that many within this set. I've also been army building Ultron, and putting him in here is a blast, having all the armors in the back as well. That looks really cool, but I do find that adding the Star Wars Black Series Snoke Throne just completes it and makes it look great. It fills that gap up in the back and gives you a little more, purpose to the set, a little more room to play with, as well as having that 4th trap door on the left-hand side for the spikes for that Marvel Select Danger Room base. And that's really fun too. Just having that there is awesome. Having a reason for these trapdoors to lead to somewhere instead of just to the bottom of the area, genius. And then having the other 2 be a little parking garage for the bike is wonderful. You could also have the parking garage set as well if you get 2 of these, and that looks great too. Having the Spider-Man spider car there, Spider-Man and Doctor Doom and Iron Man and just all the Marvel Legends you want. But just the best part about this thing is the playability and the fun behind it. I've always been a fan of play sets. I had this big Castle Grayskull when I was younger with He-Man, and I had a lot of fun with that. It had a trapdoor gimmick, and I'm like, hey, this has a trapdoor gimmick too. If you get more of enough of these and just place them together, it's really awesome. So overall, this is a well worth it purchase. It's a phenomenal set for the price I paid for it, $25 or so around Black Friday. The actual price is $45, and I would recommend holding on that just in case it goes down again. But if not, it might be at your local Disney store for $45. Maybe ask a friend for a late holiday present or something, and try to get as many as you can. I would say stick with 3, because you can make these different kinds of modular sets that I've made, or at least 2 to make something a little bit bigger. But if you have a sizable Iron Man collection or an Army Builder collection, or even a lot of action figures you'd like to display in a row, this is a great set and a worthy purchase for you to pick up this year. Even if you don't care about the Iron Man that comes with it. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Heck Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jesseheckcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching and keep being creative. Stay tuned.